Hello and welcome again to Forgotten Temples with myself, Mr. B. Now I have travelled for hour after hour after hour after hour. I'm in fact heading towards the border of Laos. I've travelled that far through Thailand and of course through Cambodia. So believe me when I tell you, it is a most welcome reward to finally reach one's destination and to be so surprised as to the enormity of it. And that's why I just walked away from the camera, to give you an idea of size. I like to do that, you see. I like to bugger off so you can see what it is we are dealing with. Now this temple is quite extraordinary. It's right in the heart of Thailand. And it's built in approximately the 12th century, and it has a tale behind it, which I have uncovered. And what it says is that a hermit used to live here, and he was involved in sacrificial ceremonies. But it says no more than that. Now, does that mean that the hermit himself was sacrificed? Or was he sacrificing other people? Or was it in fact animals like the Egyptians did with their cats and their hawks? I do not know. But because it's so delicately phrased, it kind of leans me towards, I think it's the jolly old hermit that bought it in the end. I have brought you to the left of the main doorway, which is just there, to here, where a blind doorway is. And the reason I'm showing it to you is because it's in such exceptional condition. And what really is very stark is the different use of different stone. So we almost have a red door set off against this darker stonework that frames it. But there's more to this, I feel, because what could be more mystical than a doorway that was built 1,000 years ago that is never meant to open, but stands here still, as though, I don't know, some mystical wizard is waiting to return, and with one magic wave of his hand, this portal will open. But it is back to the main entrance, and because this temple is rather large, we're gonna have to get our flow on, but not so fast we don't appreciate it. Look at this, doorway after doorway after doorway, and flanked right and left are yet more doors. But we need to head through here, because it is through here we can actually look into the face of the ancient god that this temple was built for. And quite incredibly, he's still here to this day. With a large library to the left, it is this central tower where we find our god. And it's so rare, you know. Well, it's not that common. I don't know if the word rare would be fair. But it's right up here that we see Lord Vishnu, and he was the man that this temple was built for. As I mentioned, this temple is quite a large one. And out of these larger sites, what you will always see is this ornate masonry work. And it really is something of incredible magnificence, because the men that created it were pure master craftsmen. They had dedicated their entire lives to perfecting their art. And even today we can look upon it and still be amazed. And what they created with such rudimentary tools is truly incredible. But there's a question outstanding, one you may have, which is how does it all stay up there? I mean, think about it. There's no cement or adhesive agents. Why is it that it is all in place and hasn't come down? Well, a lot of it has to do with load, i.e. weight. But there's something else that's hidden that you may not guess. And it was only yesterday I was at another temple site and I saw the perfect example to show you as to how this wonderment is created and how behind the facade there's something jolly clever going on. So allow me to show you that right now. It is in here we see something absolutely remarkable. It's not just that this exact same building method was used in South America, in Egypt, it was used by the Mayans, but it was also used here in the Khmer Empire. It is this eye bracket. What you see is a piece of stone has split here, but it could be just two separate pieces they wanted to get together. You'll have to excuse the shadow here, there's nothing I can do. But in here is placed this eye bracket, and it would have been made from molten metal and it would have been poured into place. Now obviously this was not, but what you can't see is this is not metal. This is in fact stone. And I don't believe it's ancient. And do you know why? These cut marks, see here? This cut mark and this one coming up. This is modern. So they've repaired this temple, but using ancient technology. So it gives us a very good look as to how these stones were kept in position. I am left with my age-old question. Every time I shoot a video, the same question appears. We can look into the face of gods. We have ancient priests and warriors to be admired. Where shall I end this video? I, of course, always think that. Often I walk through an ancient doorway, but occasionally I will stand next to a wall because I find walls truly fascinating. I absolutely mean that. I mean, look at the size of me and look at the size of this. It is worthy of a medieval castle. And you've got to think of the amount of labour that it took to cut this stone and bring it many, many hundreds of miles by canals, for that is how they transported them, and then erect them here. All for Lord Vishnu. But to me, they're like strong arms that are encircling you, keeping you safe and saying, everything's going to be okay. There's a certain warmth about the strength of these walls. I just find them absolutely fascinating, and I truly do mean that. And I hope that you have found some comfort and maybe enjoyed our little trip around a temple that's far, far away in a mystical land. And if, by chance, you could help me to build this library of ancient and often forgotten temples, then I would be truly grateful. Now, how you do that is very simple. It's www.patreon.com/temples. And as always, I sign off by saying I wish you absolutely nothing but, of course, the very best. You be sure to take good care now.